Okay, so let's start. I have plenty of slides. We have 2 hours, right? No? So I will not spend much more time talking about me, but I just have one slide, okay? My name is Joel Oliveira, and I'm from Portugal, okay? You have been there? Never? You should. You should. We received lots of prizes about the Best Destination Award, all of these tourist awards. But we also have, the friendliest country towards immigrants. Okay, so I'm president of the local board, the Portuguese Software Testing Board, and I'm also a tester. Okay, any testers out there? Yeah, some? Okay, great, great. And we also have a conference there, Testing Portugal. And by the way, if you are interested, you can also search for this, Tester Jobs PT. Okay, you can guess what it is, right? So just search for it on LinkedIn and you will find lots of offers, okay? Just to make it clear, I am not an AI expert, okay? I'm just a tester, okay? That's what I do. And when I'm looking to AI, I'm looking to AI from the tester perspective, okay? So if you are expecting all those algorithms and all that, strange thing that the AI guys love, you can get your lunch now, okay? Don't need to stay. So I will not talk about that, but I will give you some introduction about AI. So AI came, from these Hollywood movies, right? So this AI for you, you remember some of these movies, right? Some scary than other ones, but that's as most of the managers see AI in our days, right? Something like this. And I tried, as a tester, I tried to search for a definition for AI. And believe it or not, I was not able to find one, but actually several definitions of AI. But lucky enough, all of them refer to more or less the same thing. That's good, right? When we have several definitions, it's good that at least they agree on something. So they always agree on, let's say, the performance or the tasks that are usually related with humans. A kind of behaviors, a kind of intelligence is required to execute those kind of tasks. So we have computers doing tasks that usually are related to humans. Yeah, it makes sense, right? No questions until now. So, and I also try to understand what is AI, and I realized that it's not just one thing. Can you read it? No? You need AI for that. Okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. So AI is actually several different things. Okay, it goes from smart robotics, speech recognition, virtual agents, so you probably know some of these, right? Natural language processing, text analysis, biometrics, and I will say the most ones, or the most used ones for testing, probably are the machine learning and also computer vision, right? And I will show you some examples of these later on, okay? Some tools that use this part of artificial intelligence, okay? So as I said, I'm not an artificial intelligence expert. I think you have some people in the crowd that know more about artificial intelligence than myself. So if you have questions, they will be glad to answer to that. But let me give you a little bit more about artificial intelligence. Okay? So there is not such thing as just one artificial intelligence. So it's not just one thing, and it's not just one artificial intelligence. You have what we call, or what they call, narrow artificial intelligence. And that's not so smart, okay? But and it's only target for a single task, like weather, like music, like what is the weather now? And that artificial intelligence bot will be able to give you that information. So it's trained for a specific information, okay? If you ask for something else, or if you try to do something else that is not trained for, right? If you ask, a smart bot that is able to tell you the weather in your current location, say, okay, test me this app. I say, I don't understand you. Or, well, I search on Google and this is what I get, right? So you can also search on Google. That's not really, really smart. But then you have also general AI or strong AI. And it's when they are able to make some judgments, when they have this capability to understand the context. So it's not just focus, but it's more general. We are not there yet. Okay? And the third one, what they call super AI, cognitive AI, the real AI. Well, if we are not yet in the previous one, of course we are not on this one either, right? It will come someday or not. Let's see. Okay, we still need to wait to see that. So, but you know, I tried my search to understand what is really AI. Does it really exist? So I found this quotation, and I think it's quite good. So whenever you're seeing something about AI, and if it's written in Python, so probably it's not really AI, it's machine learning. That's one of the disciplines inside of artificial intelligence. And as of today, AI exists in PowerPoints like these ones, okay? So don't be scared yet. So it's really it's something real, or is just a hype? Well, AI is not real, but hype, that's quite real, okay? So you need to have it, and if you are not in AI, you will lose the train, okay? So you need to be in AI, even if you are not. Okay, don't tell anyone, just tell, yeah, I'm doing AI, but you are just doing manual testing. Yeah, but I'm using Google for it. You know, I'm searching on Google, and Google is using AI, right? So if you are A using B, B is using C, then A is using C. More or less, you can say that, right? So you just go to your LinkedIn profile and say, yeah, artificial intelligence in testing. Great, okay, I'm there, you know? You don't need to tell all the details. So this is not something new, but it's coming now. Why? You remember that we came from big data, right? And to train artificial intelligence, you need big data. And today you have that big data, but you have also this storage, and you have the computing power. We are not just talking about the number of calculations that we are able to do today in a computer, but everything else also together. You know, the infrastructure, the network. If you have a very smart and very fast computer, but it's in a bunker without no network connection, no use to anyone, right? But today you have all of that in the cloud somewhere, and you can use it. Not just this computing power, but also to storage all the data. And by the way, do you see that big number over there? 2.5 billion gigabytes each day. Well, take a look. This was in 2012, you know, 2012. So today, you can imagine, this number just exploded, right? And believe me, it will explode even more. Why? How many of you have an IoT device? At least one, right? At least you have at least one, your mobile phone. And believe me, that produces lots and lots of data. And I'm not even talking about all the apps that you installed that are tracking all your information. Just about the phone itself and with the default apps. Okay? You will be amazed, you will be surprised, you will be in shock if you find out all the data that is tracked just by installing the app. You don't even need to use it. You just install it and it starts to track everything. You know, what you like to do, what you don't like to do, what is your age, what is your gender, everything. How? Well, believe me, they can do it. So with all this information, all the social media, the data is increasing even more. Okay? So we have huge numbers of data growing every single minute, every single hour, every single day. So this is the natural environment to train machine learning, right? To train these models, these algorithms. So we have the data available for that, right? If you try to train someone with just a few lines of data, that will not work. So you need to have these massive amounts of data. So let's talk a little bit about AI in Europe. I told you this is a hype. So some numbers. Well, this is the total investment. And this for the last 10 years. But just in the last 5, it is being multiplied by 6. So you can see it's growing quite fast. Okay? So the investment is there. And it's a hot topic. 71% of the sea levels, they say that it's a hot topic. Okay? I will provide all the links. You have all the links below, okay, for these reports. So you know who are these sea-level guys, right? No? All the directors, all the top managers, the same guys that told you we are going agile. Okay? Because it's faster and it's cheaper. Okay? So we solved all the problems. So guess what? Now they will go to AI. Why? Faster and cheaper, right? That's what they like to tell. So they go to some conference and they say, oh, AI. Everyone is talking about AI. We need to be also in AI. Okay. Oh, but we don't use it. Just send it to the marketing guys, and next day you will be using AI for something, you know? So, and basically, they are saying this is the top priority. We need to go into AI. That's our priority. But guess what? Only 4% of them are actually doing some kind of AI. So it's really important. It's top priority. Are you doing it? More or less, yeah. You remember, AI, it's PowerPoint, right? And all the C-levels are very good with PowerPoints. So even so, the 40% of the startups, AI startups, they are not using anything related with AI. So AI startups not using AI, it makes sense, right? So, you know, just by saying we are doing something in AI, it increases plus between 15 to 50% more fundings compared to other companies. So just saying we are dealing with AI makes them more, let's say, it's a target for investment. Everyone is willing to give them money just because they're saying that they are doing AI. Amazing, right? That's the world. So AI in testing. Okay, when we are talking about AI in testing, we can have at least these 3 different worlds that are, of course, related. Okay, we can have AI testing. We can test AI. Or we can have AI testing AI. Okay. You remember that I said I'm not an expert in AI, and I don't want to become an expert in AI. I already have enough in my plate trying to be a tester. So I just want to use AI in my testing. How can I get better, or at least have more time to go to more conference and do what I like to do without spending time on these things? So AI in testing is still the initial stage, okay? Only 22% of the IT budget, only. Well, it's already a lot, right? Comparing that only 4% of the companies are doing something. So we have already a lot of budget. And 67%, they say 57%, they say, well, we have something for AI. Intelligent automation in testing, predictive analytics, descriptive analytics. So the difference between these two is that one is looking to the future, the other one is looking to the past, trying to explain what happened. Okay? So this just some of the things that you can do with AI. But just some disclaimer, they cannot explain the thinking, okay? If they think, okay? So whenever something goes wrong, they will not be able to tell you, well, this was the wrong choice because, no, this was the choice that my model was trained to give, okay? Wrong or right, that's for you to decide. And you know, sheets in, sheets out, right? If the data that you are providing is not good, the output will not be good, okay? And we already have lots of problems with artificial intelligence that was provided with the wrong data and then provided wrong decisions. And they don't have common sense, okay? Like some humans, you know, like some guys that we all know, right? Common sense is not something that it's quite used between all the teams. So let's talk about AI based testing tools. So testing tools that are using some sort of AI. Test automation, mainly test result analysis and visual testing. So these are, let's say, the most used areas of artificial intelligence in the software testing world, okay? Where this artificial intelligence is helping us as a testers, okay? I will show you some of these examples. Just a disclaimer, a quick one. So this, based on my experience, I will show you 3 different tools, and I'm not related in any way with these tool providers, okay, with these tool vendors. So it's just my opinion as a tester. And you can do it also yourself, okay? You can go to these tools, you can just try a trial. You don't need to be an AI expert, okay? That was my starting point. So the first one is Apply Tools, AI-powered visual testing and monitoring. And this is a very interesting area. It's like a market niche, right? Because as a tester, you know that visual testing is something really boring, and just comparing image doesn't work, right? Pixel by pixel, everyone knows that it will fail, right? You resize the screen, you go to a different browser, and everything is marked as a difference, as a change. And then you have a percentage saying, okay, if it's less than 80%, it's an error. If it's between 80 and 100%, let's say it's a pass. You never know, right? So are you doing visual testing automatically? No. No one? Yeah? You are doing? Using this? Okay. So most of the teams are not doing it because it's not really useful, right? So what you do, you take screenshots and you compare, or you just run your manual tests and then you compare. So the good thing on this is that it can actually be integrated into your functional tests. So they provide lots of SDKs, lots of ways to integrate these into your tests. So you don't need to build your test sets from scratch. You can just reuse that. And that's quite good. So some examples. So I went to Google page, right? It's whenever you need to test something, that's the page that you open. So as you can see, some differences were marked here, some were not. You see, for example, when I'm using Google Chrome, I have this microphone to input the text with voice. On the other ones, it doesn't exist, and it was not marked as a difference, smart or not. So he identified that this text was missing, but when I go to mobile, then it was completely messed. And even on this case, it was not in Portuguese as the other ones, that's why you cannot understand it, but it was Polish? Yeah, Polish, okay. And it didn't mark that as a bug, as a problem. So, was it smart? Or it was too smart, too intelligent, right? Because I was expecting that to be marked as a fail, right? But somehow it was not. And one good thing is that they provide different ways to optimize this analysis. So this is the default. So if you go with the default configuration, this is what you get. Everything is, is a change, right? Even if it doesn't look like. So be careful, they are smart, but not so smart. So you still need to learn a little bit how to use these tools. So as I said, they provide lots of tutorials, lots of very good documentation. It's quite easy to start. And integration with different tools, with different language, so that's quite good. And if you are, like me, a fan of Robo Framework, you can also go to that link and use open source library that we are creating to interact with OpenEyes from or to interact with the Applitools eyes solution from your tests. Okay, and basically you only need 3 different keywords. So it's open the connection, check this screen, and close the session, close the connection. Okay, that's it. And everything else then will be handled by AI somewhere in the cloud. Okay, that's what you need to know. Okay, the second one, MabLab. Advancing QA using not AI, but machine learning. Okay, so it's easy. It's also easy to set up. They have a recorder, that's a browser extension, and they have data-driven testing. They can also support different browsers. Quite interesting solution, and they can also do some kind of visual anomaly detection. Not as good as Applitools, to be honest. So, for example, this was one of the initial tests. They said one of the tests, as soon as you start your test, it will check for broken links. Okay, I didn't ask for anything. I just created my test, and it automatically starts to check for that. And actually, on that website, I have one broken link on purpose, for testing purpose. And I was surprised because it says, yeah, it passed. Green, as you can see, passed. I say, really? How come? And then I checked the details, and the error was there. 404, not found. And the artificial intelligence was saying, it passed, you know? So try to imagine your customers, oh, we are using artificial intelligence now to test our solution. Try to explain them why they are finding 404 not found. That's a feature, not a bug. So the second one, so I tried to run the same tests on different browsers. And the same tests in some cases failed, in some cases passed. I checked it, nothing wrong with the app. Nothing wrong with the browser, but it was just the interaction from the tool and the browser that was not working, that was failing. So most of these solutions also try to reduce the number of flunky tests. You know, these tests that are passing, then are failing, then are passing again, and you never know what is the problem, right? Well, they still need to improve a little bit on this. And actually, one of the tests was also supposed to fail. So I was asking for a Scalene, and the site was returning right. So I was expecting this to fail, and again, it says it passed. Why? Because they designed this tool to be auto-healing. So when something fails, the tool will look to it and say, yeah, it's failing, but I believe it's right. Okay? So it's green. Say, really? So we are talking about data-driven testing. I provide the inputs and the outputs on my file, and I ask, check this website against this file. And the results were not what I expect. And even so, the tool was saying, yes. I say, okay, scary. Artificial intelligence. So the last one, testing. Well, it's not as easy to start, not as easy to use. You need to write some code. For example, even to provide data files, you need to build your own JSON file, so it's not really easy. But again, it was finding this. So it was giving a collateral, and it was saying right. Okay? I say, okay, it spots there is an error, and, well, set a baseline. Okay, so I will say, this is my new baseline. Okay, I did it. I say, so from now on, my new baseline is right. So if you find it right, what you expect, it passes, right? So my new baseline is right. Well, wrong. So I ran it again, and it says it's failing. I say, yeah, but so you ignored my baseline. Well, it could be a problem, between the keyboard and the share. So it could be a user problem, probably, but the tool itself was not really useful for me at this stage. I was struggling to understand how to use the tool to help me. So that's not really the purpose of this tool. So it's still marking as a fail, even after updating the baseline. So do you want to know a little bit more? Okay. So the first one, and if you are searching for this, the first one is AI for Software Testing Association. Well, it's more or less a dead hand, because it's not updated since 2017. I said, well, since then, artificial intelligence, changed a lot. But the second one is the first conference dedicated to AI testing. It's happening this year. And the last two links, well, the first one is from our friend over there, Boris, okay, that was in a different talk. And this last one, it's also for one friend here in this conference, Vipul. So if you want to know more about AI testing, just talk with these guys, okay? I will leave the links there. And are you afraid? Well, they say that singularity is coming. You know what is this? It's when the machines will be smarter than humans. Are you afraid of that? No? Well, a little bit. Well, I'm not afraid of this AI evolution, but I'm afraid of the human regression. You just need to watch some TV, watch the news, and then you will understand this. And you will understand also this, that 25% of the Europeans say that they will trust or they will prefer to have AI taking political decisions instead of humans. Well, can you blame them? I don't. But 50% of them are afraid to lose the job. They'll say, our job will be replaced by some machines. And then we will be out of job. Right? You think so? Well, I don't think so. It's not the first time that we need to change. Testers are used to that. Change every single day, right? So it will be just another change. And new roles will emerge. Someone is already taking care of this. These big five, these consultants, they are already getting names for us. So you have Agile Coach, and you will have something like AI Coach. Believe me, it will come. And then you will have head of Agile Coaches, head of AI Coaches, and everything that is related with AI. So you will not run out of names for that, at least. I don't know doing what, but that's the same in Agile, so nothing strange. And the last thing is, are you in this 80 or are you on the 20? What this means, as a tester, if you are doing, these 80% of the things that are only bringing 20% of the added value, most probably you are just repeating yourself. You are not bringing any added value. And these kind of activities that can be replaced by a robot. And it doesn't need to be a smart one, okay? It just needs to be something with automation. So if you are on that, of course, you should be afraid. If you are bringing value, as you should as a tester, don't be afraid, okay? Machines, as you saw, they are not so smart. They still need us. So AI is learning, and my challenge to you is, are you also learning? Okay, and please keep that in mind. As for a tester, your most important tool, your brain, and to use it is not optional. Okay? Some of the testers tend to forget that. As soon as you start testing, you turn off the brain. Why are you doing that? Oh, because my previous mentor was also doing it. Why are you writing that test report? Is anyone looking to it? No. So why are you doing it? Oh, because that was the way they did it before. right? So challenge yourself a little bit, okay? Don't switch off the brain, okay? And thank you, obrigado, paldies. On time? Okay, questions? Remember, if it's AI related, I will grab someone else to answer.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. My name is Alexander from Smart Bear Software. We are actually a vendor of the software for QA, and what I want to, and we're trying to be on wave of this hype, of course. And so the question is, if you have possibility to substitute of one thing from your testing duties, I mean your testing activity, and substitute it for the AI engine software or process, what would you choose? Thanks.
Well, we all know that testing depends on the context, right? So I will look to my context, what is the activity where I'm spending more time, and probably I will try to optimize that. So trying to look to that activity, if AI can do it for me, releasing that effort to do something else. And depending on the test, depending on the context, it could be just doing automation. It could be just, you know, if I already have a huge amount of automated tests, it could be just looking to the results and trying to understand if they are false positives, things like that. So I will say different approach. It could be visual testing, if my application is really taking care of that, or if it's really important. So I don't believe there is one single solution, and that's why, for the same reason, we see different tools addressing different areas of this. So it could be reporting, could be automation, or visual testing, as I said. But it could be also, for example, static analysis, looking into the code itself, searching for patterns. And that could be quite risky, because they can say, well, you know, that developer, we know that as testers, right? But we never say it. That developer is bringing 80% of the bugs. You know, just raise him, because he's getting job for all the testers. He's a good guy, you know? So it depends, okay? Thank you.
Hello. My question is about can we, when we use AI, can we achieve fast results, or AI is a very long history?
Well, whenever we want to go fast, we take a shortcut, right? And at least in Portugal, we have this saying that when you take a shortcut, you get into troubles. Right? So if you are looking to AI just as a shortcut, you will get in trouble, right? As you saw, if I said, okay, let's go with AI, and I will not check the results. Simple mistakes like a 404, like a broken page, were marked as passing. Or something that I was expecting to fail, AI understood that it was not right. So I don't see AI as something that will help us to go fast. I see AI as something that can release effort so that we can focus on different type of activities to bring more value. You know, instead of doing these dummy things, these repetitive tasks, so we can use our brain, right? Instead of just working with Excel all the day, that can damage your brain, right? So I don't see it as a mean to go faster. I just see it as a mean, like any other tool, something that will give us some more extra time, some more quality of life, if that's it. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
More questions?
One more, two. Ladies are winning. Unfortunately, this time my flight was too earlier in the morning, so I couldn't bring a bottle of wine for the best question. So,
thank you, Joel.
yeah.
I'm Daria from Accenture, from Riga. And actually my question is, how do you think, can we create such AI testing which can do exploratory testing instead of us?
Well, can you switch your brain when you are doing exploratory testing?
Sure.
Sure? I don't think so. So when you are doing exploratory testing, the most important thing is your brain, right? Okay. All your experience. You never know, there is no such thing as a predefined path. So you know what you want to do, you know what you want to test, but not how. So you just explore it, right? And as we saw today, artificial intelligence is not yet there. So you can grab something like it was already available several years ago, like these not so smart monkey testers, right? They just look to your app and they try to find all the places where you can click. Yeah, that works. You can use artificial intelligence to improve that. For example, to find out all the different places that you can click. For example, identifying what looks like a cart, a shopping cart, or error to go back. So yes, it can help you. If that's already in a stage where you can just rest on that to do exploratory testing for you, I don't believe so. My final take on this is that artificial intelligence is not yet there. It's still in the earlier phase. It's not something, I will say, production ready. We are talking about startups that are still building the products. Getting better, faster, yes, but not yet there.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joel, for your presentation. It was really nice, as usual. I would like to ask, if you want to lay on AI in your testing purpose for some %, what is better to do? To customize your test suites to fit AI which is developed as it is for now, or to wait a little bit till AI gonna be developed the way we write our tests usually?
Well, as for now, it's still a work in progress. We already have some very good work in progress, but it's still work in progress.
So when you use AI in your testing, do you customize your tests to fit AI you're using, the tool you're using, or you try to find a tool which gonna work with your existing test suites?
Yeah, I tend to go with the second option, to see how I can bring AI into what I already have. It's always easier to start from scratch, right? That's not how the world works.
So, but if we are starting startup, maybe it is worth to just write tests
to
be performed by AI in a percentage?
Yeah, as part of the strategy, I will say yes. Just relying on that, no. Yeah. Okay. One of the key things behind AI is that supposedly it will get better and better. Depending on the tests that you are doing. So if you are starting to use it now, and if you use it more, it will get better. Okay? Well, you know the story from those AI chatbots that start to talk, and then they decide to turn them off, right? Or the ones in the Twitter that start to do some racist comments. So it's not really clear that they are getting better. Okay, so that's the assumption. But as a tester, you know when you are that the assumptions are dangerous for us. Okay, so as something else, as another extra tool for your tool set, for sure. As the only tool, no, not yet. And I don't know if that will ever happen. Okay. Yeah.
We have time for one last question.
One last question.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. So my question is, AI basically, from my understanding, is basically a black box. You can't really, you presented us with errors that AI made, but you can't look into the code, you can't understand what went wrong. So how can you actually trust the system which you don't know how it works, basically? That's the question.
Yeah, so you need to trust on the testers of that tool. So the ones that are testing AI itself. Well, do you trust in a self-driving car? You know, not yet, right? When you trust, you know, when you trust is that it's when you start making mistakes, right? So you cannot trust that. It's just another junior colleague that is starting in the job and that is working with you. Okay, so if you bring an internship, do you trust on the tests that he's doing? No. You will have someone else looking to what he's doing, right? Oh, you said that passed. Come on, did you saw it? It's not. You see, it's failing. Oh, okay. And then you teach her, right? You teach this internship. Right now, artificial intelligence is on the same stage. Okay? So you cannot trust. If you trust, you will have real problems. Okay? So, no, don't trust them. Not now. In the future, well, I don't know. Probably they will be smart, they will be more intelligent, and then they will realize that the problem it says. I don't know. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Joel, for your talk.
Thank you.